and we'll talk about it. Just remind me. I'll probably forget because this thing is... Rarely was silent cinema silent. It was always performed with music. Always. And I'm sure many of you don't realize this, but our two major venues downtown, the Benedum and Heinz Hall, when they opened, they were silent movie palaces. And not only were they silent movie palaces, they had full symphonic orchestras accompanying all the films from 11 in the morning to 11 at night. Can you imagine the work this did for musicians? Full orchestras. And there was a whole industry created to, at first, create generic music for silent film distribution. A lot of it was just given with little intertitles, just things like for moments of tension, for chase scenes, for this, for that, and the other thing. And the director would put together a score based upon what he saw and what these pieces were. The studio started at one point sending out what were called cue sheets. And the cue sheets would give a listing of the suggested and sometimes the preferred titles to be performed by the orchestra during the showing of the film. I've seen several of them. They're remarkable. So what I have done for you this evening, I've done a year's worth of work in a month. I've neglected my girlfriend, I've neglected my dog, I've neglected my housework. But because if you have not seen a silent film before, and I phone this in, you're going to leave here saying, silent movie. Because I've actually experienced in person one of the great comedies that no one laughed at. And one of the absolutely most disturbing silent films ever made, that became a laugh riot because the music was wrong. Careless use of music. So what I do when I score films is I try to put myself in your place and to realize that you need to disappear within the film and experiencing it from that level. Because I was speaking with my girlfriend yesterday, I'm trying to take myself away from what my experience of this film would have been like without the music that I heard. Well, I had shown several of the clips from this film to some of my students who I don't think made it here tonight, but I shared it with them. I said, these are the scariest parts of Nosferatu. And they went, this isn't so scary. And do you know why? Because they use scary music. Scary music. Charlie Chaplin, who I feel is one of the finest composers of film music ever, said that he hated the fact that Hollywood arrangers were putting funny music with his films because he was competing against the funny music. And there are two, you can see them on YouTube, there's two versions of the film The Rounders with Fatty Arbuckle. Both have exceptionally good music in them. I might be on one of them, I don't remember. But one is the Paragon Ragtime Orchestra doing peppy, happy music, and the other is Robert Israel doing ballet music. The one with the peppy, happy, funny music does not get a laugh. The one with the ballet music, side-splittingly hilarious. So, rather than me sitting down and playing the Toccata and Fugue in D minor for like an hour and a half, which wouldn't work, I've got a lot of material here that will take you on a journey of Hutter as he's leaving Germany. And I was very much inspired by the music of Robert Schumann to create this very Germanic feel. I spent a lot of time studying traditional Romanian, which is Transylvanian, gypsy music, and so I used a lot of that music for scenes in Transylvania, and basically inspirations of this. I've worked really hard on this for you, which is why I want you to buy a poster. So, silence your cell phones. Pray for me. We'll see you in about an hour and a half.